and if anybody else joins us, we'll welcome them as they join us. So again, I wanted to welcome you all and to also thank my URI colleagues who are with us. We've got Jeff, who is the Vice President of Development. We've got Michelle, who is the Vice President of Alumni Engagement. Alicia is going to talk to us about Day of Giving. She's over on the Roading Now team. And then Catherine is a new colleague of ours in alumni engagement. And she's going to be an assist with sort of global programming and the things that we're doing to engage all of you overseas. So we're a good team. We're excited to have you guys here with us and to see others as well tonight. I think we're pretty well. I know that Attila was on first, and Carla, I was going to have Attila introduce himself to you just so you know who he is, so you guys know kind of where you are in relation to each other. Attila, yeah.
I will pass it to Carla because she's the lady, obviously. So ladies first, if I may.
Carla, do you want to share with us what class year you are and all that stuff?
Okay, so yes, Carla McDermott, formerly Carla Bragg. I was a full scholarship volleyball athlete at URI. I graduated in 1998, so I attended 94 through 98 and finished with a degree in communications. And yeah, I have been traveling ever since and now live in Qatar.
Great.
Super. My name is Attila Balog. I'm graduated from 2 universities in Hungary, and I have done my MBA at URI together with the Hungarian University, a double degree MBA. I just finished in 2022, last year. Yeah, I'm right. Last year, yes. And I joined as a volunteer global ambassador for Hungary just some months ago.
Yes, and it was one of those situations where Attila reached out to us, so it was fantastic. And since then, we've developed a very strong partnership, so that's great. So I thought what I would do is, what I would typically do on a call like this is give you kind of a brief university update so that you can kind of hear what's going on and some of the things that are important on campus right now. And what I wanted to first do was share a little bit of an admissions glimpse with you. We had 3,200 first-year students arrive on campus, probably just less than a month ago, with 43% of those coming from Rhode Island. So a big group coming to their local university. We have 42% of that freshman class are males. So it's a stronger female class than a male class. We also welcomed about 500 transfer students. So students that started someplace else and have decided that they'd like to be at URI. So admissions had this year their second highest application pool. Last year was a record-breaking year, but this year was just 1% less. They had 25,326 applications, and those applications came from 74 countries and represented all 50 states. So URI is really growing, especially globally, where you guys are. People are learning about URI, and that is a lot of the value of our global ambassador program, and being able to advocate for URI and share news about URI and to champion URI to people who you might come across in your daily lives who are looking at URI as an option. So, and there are definitely ways that we can talk further about getting more involved in sort of how you can be involved on your home turf in terms of championing for URI. It's as simple as putting a flyer at your local high school in Budapest or in Qatar, or having a flyer that maybe you go to a party and a colleague's child wants to learn more about URI. So there are definitely ways to get involved, and we can certainly share information with you if that's something you're interested in. This year, we're starting off a busy year on campus. It is the 75th anniversary of our Arts and Sciences program. So we have our Dean Riley, who is celebrating that with us at the helm. That's our largest college, and we're going to be having some great events throughout the year to celebrate that 75th. We also have a new leadership in the College of Business. Dean Sean Rogers has taken over the College of Business, and he, as well as doing his doing some great work and getting out on the road and meeting alumni and getting them involved. We have a very busy year of events so far. It's only September and we're already knee deep in events. Hopefully, we're hoping to gather this group quarterly to share news and updates. As I always say, if there's some content you would like to hear, or there's something you'd like to learn about, or a professor you'd like to hear from, feel free to suggest that, because we always look for interesting and engaging content that we can share with you all, especially given your distance from campus. We are going to be having 3 very big weekends coming up on campus, and we're going to be having a family weekend next weekend, where families are going to come back. I think a lot of first-year families, in particular. In the middle of October, we're going to be hosting homecoming weekend. And then we're going to be also at the end of October celebrating our Distinguished Achievement Awards. And we're going to be honoring many alumni honorees, including Christiane Amanpour, who I'm sure you both know. She is the Chief International Anchor and Foreign Affairs Program Host on CNN. She's a class of '83 from URI. And so we're going to be honoring her with an award later this month. Excuse me. And lastly, we are going to be planning some travel internationally later this year. Every January, we look to the travel calendar of the various majors, and typically, and as this will be the case this year, we'll go to Germany. We'll host some alumni events along with the partnership of Sigrid Burke, who is in the German IEP program. There's also looking at possibility of going to London or Paris. There's a Jan Turn trip over there. So while we might not make it to Qatar, we might make it close to you, Attila. But please do keep your eye on our events calendar, especially if you're traveling. If you're traveling to a place where we might be going, and if you have, like I always say, if you have an idea similar to what Attila did earlier this year, if you have an idea for an event, we can certainly assist you and help you put something on. And Carla, I can certainly talk with you about kind of what our numbers may look like where you are, and see if we can get some people together with the waving the URI flag. So that's a little bit for the update. I did want to share with you that early next month, President Parlange will be giving a State of the University address. It is going to be live streamed, and in that he'll be providing updates on academics, athletics, facilities, all things URI. There is a web page for it, and I can certainly send the link if you'd like to register for it in order to get the link to watch the live stream. I'm quite certain, I hear from communications, that it will be recorded, so we can certainly send that out as well if you can't make it for the time that it is happening. Any questions about any of that stuff? I know I just talked a lot. So before I hand it over to Jeff, I did want to share some just some images, just some slides with you that pertain to international populations here on campus. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
So I wanted to share with you just some graphics about our international student population and their countries of origin. And as you can see here, I know some of those pieces of the pie get a little bit small, but I just wanted to share with you where our international students are and where they've come from. You know, some of our biggest groups, you know, South Korea, Indonesia. So that's it's great to see that our international population is growing at the rate it is. I also have this is also a graphic about international students by degree program, and the percentage of students who are pursuing their bachelor's, their doctorate, their master's, their PharmD degrees. And I'm happy to share these slides with you at the end if you'd like. This was also just a map that international students office provided me with, again, sort of portraying the bachelor, the different degree programs by country of origin. And then this is international students and their program of study. Lots of data on here, lots of different programs of study, but really just a fantastic way to see what these amazing students are doing when they come to URI. It really just, they're so smart and they're so motivated, and they really are doing great things academically and engaging in campus when they're here. So again, I'm happy to share these as well. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jeff, who is going to give us an update on URI FE. All right.
Well, I think Carla and Attila, this is the first time that I'm meeting you, so it's nice to meet both of you officially. So my role at the foundation is Vice President for Development, and I help manage the Big Ideas, Bold Plans fundraising campaign, which has been going on now for about 7 years, I would say, 7 or 8 years. Michelle would know better than me. She's been here for the entire time, right, Michelle? I guess it's 7 years. Yeah. So each academic year we set a goal for ourselves, and before the campaign was really launched, we were raising about 10 to 12 million or so each academic year for lots of different programs. Since the campaign was launched and we really had a focus on the priorities that the university has set forth, we've been able to bring that average up to about 30 million a year. And there are some years that we're way over that mark thanks to some large gifts. So the screen that you're seeing now is basically our fundraising progress since July 1st of this year. So we have a $33 million goal. Obviously, this is all in US dollars. We have a $33 million goal. We've raised just shy of 10.5 million towards that goal. Our largest gift so far this year was actually a $7 million bequest gift. So somebody making a gift through their estate plan. So when they pass on, their estate will pay out a $7 million gift to the university. So we're well on our way this year. We have a few other large gifts planned. We also have lots of activities through our Rhody Now Fund, like Day of Giving, which Alicia is going to go over with you in just a minute. So I'm going to flip to the campaign dashboard next, because I think this gives you an idea of where all of these dollars have been going since the start of the campaign. So we've raised 278 million towards our $300 million goal. So some quick math will tell you that we'll be at 300 million before the end of the academic year, which is really exciting. That's where we want to be. On the upper right-hand side, you'll see the campaign progress. This is the line that we need to stay above. So the darker shaded blue line, that's really the trend line. We want to stay above that in order to make the $300 million goal by Q4 of 2024. So that's June 30th of 2024. So we're well on our way. We've stayed above this trend line since 2020, which has been exciting. And we have full faith that we'll get there before June of next year. I want to explain kind of where these gifts have been allocated since the start of the campaign. So the lower left-hand corner of the screen is campaign commitments by gift type. You'll see outright gifts, 122 million. This is actual cash to the university. So cash that the university has been able to count on since the start of the campaign. This is critical. This affects budget planning. It affects what deans are able to do for students each year. And of course affects scholarships. The vast majority of these gifts have gone to student scholarships. There is a huge need on campus. There's a lot of unmet need. We're always fundraising for scholarships. The pledges bar, that's 81.6 million. These are gifts that have been pledged to us that are coming over a number of years. So lots of people make gifts monthly and they pledge that out, or even annually, and they'll pledge it out over 3 to 5 years or so. The deferred gifts bar are actually our planned gifts, our gifts through estate plans. So the university can count on roughly $75 million over the next 20 to 30 years as estate gifts are realized. On the right-hand side of the screen, these campaign commitments by purpose, this sort of shows you where at the university the gifts are being used and how they're able to be used. So for example, operating gifts, this is cash in one hand and really out the other. So it's most immediate needs. That's how I would look at this bar. The endowed gifts it's 108 million. These are gifts that are for a specific purpose, whether it's a student scholarship, or if it's a program on campus that has an endowed fund. So the principal of the gift is staying with us all the time. We're investing that principal, and we only use the spinoff that comes out of that investment towards the purpose. So there are lots of endowed gifts on campus. Capital improvements are all of our construction projects. This has been a campaign really about student scholarships and programs, and not so much about capital projects. And that's okay. Some campaigns are all around buildings and others are not. Ours has really been focused on people and programs. And then the final bar here, maybe the most important bar, certainly to Alicia, we've raised just over 20 million in Rhody Now gifts. These are the most flexible gifts that the university has received. They really allow the deans and some of our faculty who manage these funds, they allow them to respond to immediate needs on campus or immediate urgent needs from students. It's really the best way to give to URI, and we're really thankful for our community for stepping up in that way. The next slide here is really where we're at as a foundation. So you may not know that the foundation is a separate organization from the university. While we work in lockstep with the university, we work very closely with President Parlange. We're a separate organization. So we have to outline some goals for ourselves that closely align with the university and make sure that our foundation is helping the university achieve the goals that they've outlined. So this year we embarked on a strategic plan that really responded to the university's strategic plan. And I'm just going to go over the 5 things on the left-hand column that we hope to accomplish in the next 4 or 5 years or so. Obviously, maximize philanthropic support. That's really focused on the dollars that we're raising for the university each year. One of our big goals is to partner with the university. The way that we measure that is really through presidential engagements at events and meeting with alumni and donors around the world. And we do a really great job of that, thanks to Michelle's team. Foster an engaged community. You know, that's one of the things that we're doing here on this call, is that we're making sure that our alumni know how they can get involved with the things that they're most passionate about. And so making sure that volunteers know that they have all of these avenues for engagement, that's a big one. Drive operational excellence, that's really behind the curtain for us. That's making sure that our return on investment for all of our fundraisers and all of our staff, that we're setting up metrics that we can look ourselves in the mirror and say, all of these positions are having a big impact and here's how they're doing it. So this is more human resources side of things, but just as important. And then of course, be an employer of choice. We need to make sure that our employees know that they're valued and that the work that they're doing is really changing lives on campus, and that our employee retention rate continues to rise, and that we have a focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, as does the university. So these are just some of the ways that the foundation is responding to the university's strategic plan. And if you held up our plan and the university plan, you would see a lot of crossover, and that's really, really how it should be. So I'm going to pause there, and before we turn it over to Alicia so she can share some news on Day of Giving, I'll ask if either of you have questions on that, or if Michelle or anyone else has further comments on any of this.
I could just add that the countries that you're from, things have changed in that I would imagine the government would subsidize a lot of the higher education effort. And here in the States, the state of Rhode Island's been very generous over the years, but they just don't have the resources to continue at the level they're at. So I want to say that they give us about 7% of our budget. Jeff, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So we are working really hard to educate people as to why we're out there trying to provide the pipeline for future students, for scholarship, for faculty needs. And this is part of the education that we're doing. So great job, Jeff. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, that's so true. You know, there are many revenue streams for the university, but the 3 main revenue streams are tuition, state support, and the foundation work, everything that we're doing for fundraising. We do a lot of advocacy with state officials around how the state can better support the university. So there's a lot of work underway in that regard. But our focus is really fundraising, and the way that we do that is through engagement activities. So we're really thankful for your time, and I hope you spread the word. I hope you spread the word on Day of Giving, which Alicia's going to dive in now and share exactly how you can do that and what our goals are there.
Thank you for that beautiful transition, Jeff. So hello, I'm Alicia. I'm also an alumni of URI. I graduated in 2015. And being at the foundation holds a very special place in my heart because similar to many of the stories we hear from students and experiences that we have ourselves, for me, the pathway to opportunity started at the front door of the foundation in my undergrad because I've benefited from scholarships that were formed because of the work we do here. So I'm in a really unique position already, but I also oversee our parent and family programs. And I think that having this global ambassadors network is incredible. I have parents on our parent council. We have a URI parent council and they're in the UK. And so this allows them the opportunity to feel like they're here in Kingston from thousands of miles away. And my gears are already turning because I'm like, all right, their son graduates in May. I'm going to talk to him about the Global Ambassadors Group. But I also think as parents, this is a group that would be of interest to them as well because they are huge cheerleaders for URI, and being able to spread our message as far and wide as possible is important for bringing talent into the university, but also having an impact across the globe as well. So thank you for having me, and I'm so excited to talk about Day of Giving. I'm going to actually share with you my screen so I can show you our website, and I'm going to put in the chat here the website, but I'll also share this with you, Mary, so that folks who are not on the call can check it out as well. So just bear with me while I switch my screen. Let me make sure. Okay. Can you all see a group of URI students pointing at the camera? Awesome. So this is our landing page when you do visit our website. And then what we're looking to do is on October 5th, as you can see from our Zoom backgrounds, we're hosting a 24-hour period where alumni, families, friends, student faculty, anybody whose lives have been touched because of the University of Rhode Island can celebrate with us, show their Rhodey pride, and make a contribution to any area that has had a profound impact on their experience or their students' experience. And so on our website, our goal this year is to raise 1.5 million from over 4,000 donors for the community, and including 1,200 new first-time donors. And our goal is similar to last year because we're really trying to be cognizant of the fact that we're looking at the economy, what are the trends in philanthropy, but we want to make sure that we hit our goal and definitely exceed it. So we have tons of opportunities to do that. So if you're asking, how can I help spread the word about this from so far away? Well, luckily, we have set up the tools and resources to make that very easy. So we, of course, ask you to please consider supporting an area that's meaningful to you. If you're not really sure what that may be, feel free to reach out to our team here and we can help navigate that. I do know we have a variety of funds that you can support, including, if you'd like to make a contribution to more than one area, we can most certainly help assist with that conversation. But we also have 40 or over 40 unique gift challenges that I wanted to highlight fairly quickly. I heard that we have one alumni who was involved in women's volleyball, another alumni with the College of Business, and we do have 2 gift challenges for those areas. One being, let me just scroll here. We have a women's athletics gift challenge here. So when you click on the box, you'll see that there's prize money aside for teams that raise the most. We also have a women's volleyball challenge, thanks to one of our parents who are on the parent council. She is making a gift to help unlock some additional funds for the team. And then for our College of Business, I believe we have a similar one right here, a $25,000 impact challenge. So these are because our loyal supporters and alumni want to see this day really succeed and be blown out of the park. So we have awesome opportunities to help get additional funds for areas that we care about. You may have seen some save the date emails come in, and don't worry, you're going to see a lot more communications between now and October 5th to help spread the word. So you can make your gift between now and Day of Giving, and it will count towards our overall goal. If you've already made a contribution, we want to thank you very, very much. And if you are able to share on your social media or a LinkedIn, or even just through email to other alumni you may know, that would really help expand our messaging far and wide. Another way we're spreading awareness here in Kingston is behind me on this beautiful background. You can see there's the quad. We are going to have an on-campus celebration with the president's office. It's actually his fall quad festival, and we're going to have the opportunity to welcome back students, say hello to faculty and staff, but we'll have informational tables, food, and other activities to really just rally the day and have a successful day of giving. And of course, President Parlange and Rhodey the Ram will be there on the quad as well. So all in all, it's an opportunity to rally for the URI community, to give back to an area that you love and to help spread the messaging. And so you're going to see more content on our social media pages as the days come along. So we encourage you to share those, and using the hashtag #WeAreURI will allow us to see all of our alumni interacting with our posts, and we can help share their messaging as well. So I'll make sure you have my contact information too. So if you have any questions, or if you're interested in establishing a gift challenge yourself, we would love to talk. So other than that, I think I covered everything, but if you do have questions, I'm happy to take those as well. But thank you.
And I believe I did send the toolkit to this group. So
Fantastic.
that they can use some social media messaging if social media is something that they're active on. So
Great.
Thank you, Alicia and Jeff. Without their partnership and collaboration and everything we do, we would certainly would not be successful. So this team we have is fantastic. Before we close, I wanted to give a brief update on some exciting alumni travel programs that we are involved in. Prior to the pandemic, we had a pretty robust alumni travel program where we partnered with travel companies to provide opportunities for alumni to get together and take some special trips to some great places around the globe. And now that we're hopefully coming out of this pandemic, we have tried to relight the fire under our alumni travel program. We've recently worked with some third-party vendors to host some trips. We had one to Iceland in June, and today, leaving from Toronto, is a Great Lakes cruise for a group of alumni that have signed up to be part of a larger group. And what these are affinity trips. So the companies that operate them are used to bringing on and entertaining groups of people who all share a common passion. So in this case, it would be URI. We do have some trips coming up. We have a trip to Costa Rica and Panama Canal next year. We have the Amalfi Coast. We have a European coastal civilization trip that goes from Lisbon to London. And we also have a trip through that starts and ends in Athens. And I'm sharing this with you because my goal in working with global ambassadors and working on alumni travel is to try and marry these two programs and to try and capitalize on where you all are and where we can have those trips come in and out of. So for example, if I have some alumni, if I have a global ambassador in Athens and we have a group of alumni in Athens, can I somehow work with that global ambassador to host an event either prior to their departure on the ship or coming back after they've come back? So really trying to capitalize on some of those relationships that we have with all of you guys and where you are, and to showcase where you are, so alumni can meet you when they're actually on site, which they might not normally be. So again, if you're interested in alumni travel, by all means, check it out. Most of our trips right now are over on your side of the globe, and they are a mixture of cruise trips and land trips and some of both. But we're really I'm hoping that I could be reaching out to some of you, depending on what trips that we brainstorm for the end of 24, and all through 25, and maybe we can get some alumni engagement going tied to these trips. We do have we don't have a page for the alumni travel trips, but we do have in our event listing, when you see an alumni travel trip, if you click on that, you can scroll down and see the rest of the trips that we have planned. As always, I want to close with saying that we can't do what we're doing without you, so we thank you. If there are opportunities that you see to engage alumni, please feel free to share with us, and I can certainly help you put something together. End of July, I had our global ambassador in Paris reach out because there was a festival in Paris, and he said, let's all meet up. Unfortunately, it turned out to be raining that night, so the group was not as hearty as we thought it was going to be. But even something informal where everybody can put on their URI sweatshirt, so people recognize them and come out to a festival, an outdoor festival where there's music playing and have a good time. So always the option to do something. If we can catch a football game in Qatar, Carla, that'd be fantastic. Get some alumni at something like that, especially since your husband's a URI alum as well. And also, just to let you know that we're always open for suggestions for these calls. If there's a content area you'd like to hear about, one of the things that comes to mind for me is AI and the things that they're doing on campus with AI. And if that's something that you think this group would be interested in hearing about, I can certainly work with colleagues on campus and other campus partners to see, if we could get someone to come on who might be able to talk about, AI and how students are learning these days compared to how they were learning when you all were here as students. So don't hesitate to reach out. No idea is too silly. We look for any opportunity we can to engage you guys as a group. And I know that it's very hard for everybody to come together on one call, given the diverse geographic range you all are in. But we appreciate your joining us and hope to continue to have you join us as we go throughout this year.
Yeah, thanks for the call. It was good. I haven't been on in a while. I was just really busy with work and actually missed out on a great opportunity to host in Northern Ireland for the Good Friday Agreement. And there were so many Americans in town, and but it just got too hectic.
Yeah.
But I'll send you a list of events because Qatar hosts so many sporting events, and we've just I think been announced for the World Basketball Games.
Oh, wow.
So I know Rhodey basketball is massive, and to bring maybe that's a thought of hosting something here around that. But I'll send more information to you, Mary, so you can have a look at that at this event schedule.
That would be fantastic. Hold on one second. Do anybody else have any other questions? I apologize. I didn't realize my computer wasn't plugged in. So anybody have any other questions? This call was about to end itself on its own. So I apologize for that. It's very embarrassing. Attila, do you have any questions? I know you and I are going to stay on after to talk a little bit. Does anybody else? Carla, do you have any other questions? Or Catherine, Alicia, any more comments?
I just say I'll get my stickers out because I did meet 2 URI parents in Dubai when I lived there because they had their URI parent sticker on their car.
Wow.
Proud parent of a URI student. And I was like, oh, and I actually waited outside a supermarket at their car like a stalker. Like, you're affiliated to URI. Oh
That's
my God.
fantastic. That is fantastic. If you ever need anything like that, just let me know. Happy to send you get you some stickers and decals and pins and things you can show your Rhodey pride with.
Amazing. Yes. No. So those things do work. I just wanted to tell you.
Good.
Well,
Thank you both for joining us.
Yeah, it was really nice to meet both of you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in person someday.
Awesome.
Great to see everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.